Good afternoon, friends. In this series of CEC Gurukul lectures, we are discussing about process costing. And in the process costing, in today's lecture, I will be talking about process losses and the process gains. We normally in the process costing language, we call it normal loss, abnormal gain. These are the issues which I will be discussing in today's lecture. In my previous lecture on the process costing, I explained that how you make the process accounts, how the costing procedure takes place in the process costing. And one of the important feature while making the accounting of process account, that is there is some losses that takes place in the business. When I am saying in the business means the very nature of the process is such that when you convert input into output, there is bound to be, or there are chances, there are great likelihood there will be some losses that takes place. Like for example, if you are in the sugar industry. So in the sugar industry, when at the first stage, when you are crushing the sugar canes, that is you are extracting juice out of it, the 100 quintals or 100, whatever you say for example 100 kg of the sugar canes, if you crush and you extract juice, you are not getting 100 liters or 100 kg of the juice, sugar cane juice. What you will get is there is bound to be losses in this crushing process. That 25% weight is of the sugar cane which you get, sugar cane outer part which you get. So only 75 kg or 75 liters of the sugar juice you will get. So this loss is in normal loss, it is bound to take place. So what I am saying is, so in such industries, while processing the material, while converting input into output of that process, there are certain losses which may arise. It may be because of evaporation, it may be because of inefficiency, it may be chemical reactions, it may be, say for example, if you are converting, you are making utensils, and while cutting the steel sheets, when you cut the steel sheets, whatever the best of the best methods you use, right, while converting these steel sheets into the utensils, right, there is bound to be some side scraps which you are going to get it. So you are not full weight. Suppose you are processing 100 kg of, if I take in terms of the kg of steel sheets, you are not going to get 100 kg of the steel utensils, right? The weight, if I am presuming that the utensils are being sold in terms of the weight, so you are not going to get in that very quantity. There is bound to be some losses, means while converting steel sheets into utensils, there is a 10 kg of the steel sheet loss that will take place. This is the normal loss. So what I have written here is that in industries which employ process costing, a certain amount of loss of material occurs at various stages of production. Such a loss may arise due to chemical reactions, evaporations, inefficiencies, etc. There may be any reason of it. So it is therefore necessary to keep accurate records of input and output. That is, how much input you are putting and how much output in terms of quantity you are getting it. When losses occurs at a later stage of manufacture, it is apparent that the financial loss is greater. Why it is greater? Suppose there are three process 1, process 2, process 3, right? So if the loss takes place at the process 3 stage, obviously the cost has already been incurred in the process 1 and the 2 stage. So the cost of the process 1 and 2 becomes the input of the process 3, and the cost of the input cost of the process 3 is higher as compared to the input cost of the process 2. So certainly if at this stage, which is the last stage of production, I am presuming, the loss takes place, the financial loss will be greater because the cost involved is more in this process. So this is because more and more costs are incurred in the processes as product moves towards completion stage. So process loss may be classified into two categories, that is normal and abnormal. Now I will explain you what is this normal loss and abnormal loss. right. So that we can understand clearly how we distinguish between normal and abnormal loss. Now, let us take first normal loss, we call it normal process loss. Certain losses are inherent in the manufacturing process either because of the very nature of material used or the nature of the manufacturing process. These losses are unavoidable or uncontrollable because of their occurrence in the normal course of manufacturing. As I was just talking to you, telling you, you convert 100 kg of steel sheets into utensils, right. You crush 100 kg of sugar cane and extract juice, you are not going to get 100 kg of juice out of it, right. So, this I am presuming that if you crush 100 kg of sugar cane, you are not going to get, you are going to get say for example 75 kg or 60 kg of the sugar juice. So, this 25% or 40% as the case may be, the loss that takes place, it is a normal case, because it is the nature of the sugar industry that when you crush the sugar cane, you do not get that much sugar juice, juice out of it, sugar cane juice out of it. So, this loss is uncontrollable, you cannot control it, it is the very nature of the business, right. So, this loss is called normal loss in the manufacturing. These includes losses due to evaporation, like you are dealing in a chemical industry, you are processing it. So, there may be some reactions, there may be some evaporation, right. So, scrap or unavoidable spoilage that is bound to take place in the say in the crude oil business, that is when you are converting crude oil into petrol, diesel, gasoline, right. There is bound to be the whatever the quantity of the crude oil you process, you don't get that much petrol or you don't get that much diesel or the gasoline out of it, even if you add all the three, right. So, this loss is bound to take place. So, this loss of output resulting from such factors is termed as normal process loss or normal wastage. How you treat it in the cost accounting, this is a moot point. It is fundamental costing principle that the cost of normal losses should be borne by the goods production. Good production. Good production means whatever the output we are producing, what should be the production that takes place. So, the normal loss is generally determined as a percentage of input. Say again, I will say for example, if you are processing 100 kg of input and you presume that when this 100 kg of input which you are processing, you are going to get 90 kg of output. So, this 10 kg of loss, which is called 10% of the input, right, this is a normal loss. So, normal loss is generally determined as a percentage of input. In our example, this 100 kg is the input, right, and the loss is 10 kg. I am presuming this is normal, this is bound to take place. This is by the nature of the production that while processing 100 kg of input, you will get 90 kg of output. So, this 10%, 10 kg of loss, which is 10% of the input, is we denoted it in terms of percentage. So, this is right. So, sometimes such a loss is due to loss of weight, say due to evaporation or chemical action. Since such a waste is not physically present, obviously it cannot have any value. Means the loss that is taking place, it may be visible, it may be non-visible. I said you are processing the chemical. So, there is some evaporation of the chemical that is taking place or some chemical action. So, since evaporation takes place, you cannot, there is no visibility of it, visibility in the sense there is no physical present of the waste that is taking place, right. So, it does not have any value of it. Or the example I gave, we are processing, you are making the utensils and you are cutting the steel sheets, and while cutting the steel sheets you get the side cuttings, right, and that is there in the physical form and that you can sell as a scrap. So, that loss value, that loss has certain value, you can sell it as a scrap, right. So, it may be the normal loss may be having some saleable value, it may not have some saleable value. However, when normal loss is physically present in the form of scrap, it may have some value, it may be sold at some price. As I was saying, that steel sheet, when you are cutting, when you cut it, you convert it, right. So, side cuttings which you get, you sell it as a scrap. So, whenever a scrap material has any value, it is credited to process account. As I said, while you prepare the process account, you debit all expenses, and on the credit side, if any normal loss takes place, you show it as a normal loss, and the sale value of the scrap, if there is any, you will show on the credit side. Now, let me take a very simple example. Like following information is given in respect of a process 1. Material cost, that is 100 kg at the rate of rupees 5, labor cost rupees 400, direct expenses rupees 100, indirect expenses allocated to process A are rupees 200. Normal loss, which we will denote as NL, is 10% of the input. Our inputs are 100 kg of the material, so it means 10 kg is our normal loss. Prepare process A account when scrap value is nil, that is this 10 kg of the normal loss has no saleable value. Case number 2, when the scrap arising out of normal loss has a sale value of rupees 1 per kg. So, we are taking a 2 scenario, where in scenario 1, this normal loss, which is 10 kg in our example, right, has a no saleable value, and the other case is this 10 kg of the normal loss or the loss has a saleable value of rupees 1 per kg. So, how you show it in the books of accounts, that is a moot point. So, let us see it. That is quite simple, right. So, we are making a process A, we are taking a situation where the normal loss has no saleable value. So, as you know the process, when you pick up the process account, you debit all costs. So, we are debiting to material, to labor, to direct expenses 500 rupees, 400 rupees, 100 rupees, and indirect expenses 200 rupees, right. So, the total units in terms of kgs 100 units, the total of the debit side, that is the expenses side, is 1200, 500 plus 400 plus 100 plus 200, that comes to be 1200, right. On the credit side, I have taken the first case where the normal loss has no saleable value, right. So, normal loss is 10% of the input, our input is 100 kg, so the normal loss is 10 kg, that is no saleable value. So, rupees 0, right, nil, and then the total of the 1200 rupees of the all the expenses will be transferred to the process 2 account, that is outright transferred to process 2 by normal loss 10 kg, that is in terms of quantity, by transfer to process 2, that is 90 kg. So, the production should be 90 kg which has taken place. So, the cost of this 1200 90 kg is 1200. What you are seeing is, what you observe here is the cost of the normal loss, that is normal loss that is taking place, that is borne by the good units produced. Good units is 90 units. So, the total cost of 1200 will be divided among the 90 units that has been produced. So, 1200 divided by 90 kg will be the cost per unit. That is, cost per unit is 1200 divided by 90 is equal to 13 rupees 33 paisa. Case number 2, where I have presumed that this 10 kg of the normal loss that has taken place, it has a saleable value, it has a scrap value of rupees 1 per kg. So, as in my previous example, in my previous case, case A, right, what we are showing is we are debiting all the costs, material cost, labor, direct expenses, indirect expenses, the sum total of it comes to be 1200 rupees. Now, this 10 kg of the normal loss that has taken place, it is being sold in the market at rate of rupees 1 per kg. So, I will say by normal loss rupees 10, and this cost of the process 2, that is 90 units remaining, this will be the 1190, the balancing figure is the cost of 90 units produced. So, 1200 is the total of the debit side. Credit side, we have already received 10 rupees by way of sale of scrap, which is the normal loss, and rest is the difference is your total cost of the 90 units which you are producing, which in our example is 1190. So, the cost per unit, unlike in the previous example, previous case where cost of 90 units was 1200 divided by 90 kg, right. Here I am saying 1190 divided by the 90 units, right. It comes to be 13 rupees 22 paisa. So, if sale value has a value, if normal loss has a value, you show it on the credit side. If normal loss has no sale value, you just show the quantity and you do not show the figure. Now, let us take the case of abnormal loss. How you do it, how you find out, let us understand the theoretical part of first. Process loss occurs above the normal loss is treated as abnormal process loss or abnormal wastage. Just now the example which we have discussed, I said we are processing 100 kg of inputs and the normal loss is 10 kg. So, it means the output should be, the normal output should be 90 kg we are presuming. Supposing because of any reason, it may be inefficiency, it may be power breakdown, it may be machine breakdown, it may be carelessness of the mechanic, it may be of the mechanic, of the foreman, of the, there may be many faulty planning, any reason. Because of this, the output does not take place of 90 units. Say it takes place of 85 units only. Again I am saying 100 units you are processing, that is the input is 100 units, right, and out of that you presume that the very nature of the production is that there is bound to be normal loss of 10 kg. So, what the production should be? The production should be 100 minus 10, that is 90. But supposing in a process instead of 90 kg the output takes place of 85 kg. So, this 5 kg is the extra loss that should not have taken place, but which has taken place in the business. So, this is called abnormal loss. Abnormal loss is a loss which is over and above the normal loss, right. So, normal loss in our example is 10 kg, but here the output has taken place of 85 kg. So, it means 5 kg is the abnormal loss. So, this type of loss consists of loss due to abnormal reasons such as carelessness, machine breakdown, accident, use of defective materials, faulty planning, lack of supervision, etc. There may be any reasons, simply because of any abnormal reason which should not have taken place, which can be prevented, which is controllable, right. So, loss that takes place over and above the normal loss is called abnormal loss. So, these losses are by and large controllable and hence avoidable by taking care of the factors responsible for such losses. I said one of the reason can be faulty planning. So, if you plan properly, if you plan the production process properly, the abnormal loss will not take place, right. I said one of the reason can be defective raw material. So, if you have a strict quality control at the time of purchase of the raw material and the storage of the raw material, right, then this abnormal loss is not going to take place in the business. So, this abnormal loss is always a loss to the business. We should try our best to avoid it. So, how you treat it in the accounting? Unlike normal loss, abnormal loss is not absorbed by the good production, rather it is transferred to the costing profit and loss account. The example which we discussed of the normal loss, I said in this example that 100 kg is being transferred as input, out of which you are getting 90 kg of output. So, whatever cost, input cost of the 100 kg is in the process, material, labor, overheads, all those costs we have added, and we presumed that this cost is not of 100 kg, this cost is of 90 kg, because 10 kg is our normal loss. So, all the total cost, that is whatever the total cost, say for example 1200, so 1200 was divided among the 90 kg of the output which we produced. And if this, I said in my example that production took place of 85 kg. So, this loss of 5 kg, right, will be charged from the costing profit and loss account. The basic funda of the cost accounting is, if any loss takes place because of any abnormal reason, that should not escalate, that should not increase the cost of the good units produced. Then if we do so, our cost will be, our business will be become uncompetitive. In a competitive scenario, if you unnecessarily increase the cost of the good units because of these abnormal losses, abnormal reasons, controllable reasons, then the business will be less competitive. So, in order to avoid that, we follow the fundamental principle in the costing that if any loss takes place in the because of abnormal reason, that is being transferred separately to the abnormal loss. So, this is because if the cost of abnormal loss were to fall upon the good production, the cost thereof will get distorted and the information provided would be misleading. We will not get the right cost, we will not get the correct cost. So, that is why we say the abnormal losses should be treated separately. It should be charged directly to the costing profit and loss account as a loss. Means is a loss that is take place because of abnormal reasons. So, how you treat it in the accounting? In order to overcome this and also to disclose the cost of abnormal loss, see, for control purposes, if we show the abnormal loss, it can be directly come in the eyes of the top management. So, top management will take effective steps so that this abnormal loss can be prevented in future. So, the following procedures may be allowed. Allow for normal loss in the manner which is being just described. Means how you value it. I will simply say you value it as you value the normal units or the output which should have taken place, I said 100 kg of input we are processing. The total cost is 1200. Output should be 90 kg. 10% is the loss. So, and if the output takes place of 85 units, so this 5 units will be valued in the same manner as the 90 units were being valued, right. That is, after considering normal loss, find out the cost per unit of that process by the following formula. Means you presume that there is no abnormal loss. For the time being, you presume that there is no abnormal loss. That is the total cost of the process minus the cost of the normal loss, right, divided by good units that should have been produced. So, the formula is cost per unit is total cost minus value of normal loss. Value of normal loss means basically this scrap cost, scrap value if there is any, divide by units introduced minus normal loss units. In our example, which we have been discussing throughout in this example, so total cost 1200 minus, say for example, value of the normal loss 10 units is the normal loss, 1 rupee per kg if you are selling it as a scrap, if you are selling it, right. So, 1200 minus 10, 1190, divide by 100 units minus 10 units normal loss, right, that is 90. So, 1190 divide by 90 units. I am saying that 85 units have been produced. So, this 5 units will be valued as the 90 units have been valued, right. So, this is multiply the cost per unit calculated as above. The as above means the total cost minus value of the normal loss divide by unit introduced minus normal loss units, right. So, multiply the cost per unit by the number of units of the abnormal loss. This gives the total value of abnormal loss. I will take a simple example, then you will understand it more clearly. Create the relevant process account with the quantity and value of the abnormal loss account. This balancing figure in the process account is the cost of the good units produced in the process. This can also be found by multiplying cost per unit with the number of goods units produced. And we also open an abnormal loss account and debit with the quantity and the value of abnormal loss shown in the process account. Sale proceeds from abnormal loss are credited to abnormal loss account. Any balance left in this account is net loss and transferred to the costing profit and loss account, right. Let me take a very simple example so that we can understand it properly, how you treat the abnormal loss account. 1000 units were introduced into process A at a cost of rupees 20,000. Means the material is, or the introduction stage, 1000 units have been introduced, which costs 20,000 rupees. The additional cost incurred are direct labor 10,000, direct expenses 5,000, manufacturing overhead allocated is 3,000. So, what you are given is, in addition to 20,000 cost of material, 10,000 labor cost, 5,000 expenses cost and 3,000 overhead cost. A normal loss of 10% of the input is expected, having scrap value of 2 rupees per unit. Means when you will sell these normal loss units in the market, which is in form of scrap, they will fetch you rupees 2 per kg, 2 per unit. The actual output for the period was 800 units. Means what you are seeing here, 1000 units have been introduced. Loss is 10%. Ideally, we should have got 900 units. But here in this business, the process has got only 800 units. So, assuming no work in progress in the process A, prepare the process A account, show how abnormal loss will be treated in the accounts. Now, let me quickly show how the process account and the abnormal loss account will be prepared. So, material in the first column is of the particulars, PAR means particulars, second is of units, the third is of amount. So, material cost, DL means direct labor, DE means direct expenses and manufacturing overhead, which is given in our example 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, 3,000. So, the total of this 1000 kg of inputs which we are processing is 38,000 rupees, which we have already, this is the cost that has been incurred. Now, this example says that 100 units is 10% is the normal loss, 10% of 1000 comes to be 100 units. And when you sell these normal loss units, you get a scrap value of rupees 2 per kg. So, 100 units you sell it in the market, with cash you receive is 200 rupees. So, by normal loss, right. So, 200 rupees. And then, I mean, your output is not 900. Ideally, the output should have been 900, but the output is only 800. So, this 100 is the abnormal loss. Now, the question is how you value this abnormal loss and how you value this. So, I will simply say what I have done here is that I have added all the cost, that is the total cost incurred, which is 38,000, then minus the scrap value of the normal loss, which is 200 rupees. So, 38,000 minus 200 divided by what should have been the output. The output should have been 1000 minus 100 units, that is 90 kg of or 90 units output. So, this 38,000 minus 200, that is 37,800 divided by 90 kg, right. So, 38,000 minus 200 divided by 90 kg, that is comes to be as if no abnormal loss has taken place, is the cost is per unit is 42 rupees. So, what you are seeing here is that this abnormal loss is being valued in the same manner the way we have valued good units produced. So, this abnormal loss is 100 units at the rate of 42 rupees per unit, PU means per unit, 4200 and transfer to process B again at the same rate to 42 rupees as we have just calculated, right. So, that 42 rupees it comes to be 33,600, right. So, this is the way you calculate the abnormal loss. Now, how you prepare the abnormal loss account? So, since you have got 100 kg to process A, 4200, right, and this is very important to understand. This 100 units abnormal loss which has taken place, this is like the way you sell the scrap value of the normal loss. Similarly, you must have sold in the market as a scrap. So, by cash account, sale of scrap 100 units 200 rupees. So, rest of the amount will be transferred to the costing profit and loss account. Important thing to remember is this whole of the 4200 rupees, which is the value of the abnormal loss, will not be transferred to the costing profit and loss account. Only the remaining part means after selling the scrap in the market, whatever the value is left, that is being transferred to the costing profit account. That is not whole of the 4200 is being transferred to the costing profit and loss account. This is 4200 minus the sale value of the scrap 200, that this remaining 4000 will be transferred to the costing profit and loss account. So, in this way we treat normal loss and abnormal loss account. In the process accounting, this is very important to understand how you treat normal loss and abnormal loss. Most of the questions which you get in examination like situation, you get a question, you get a problem where you have to treat how we value abnormal loss, normal loss, abnormal gain. So, in our next lecture, we will discuss about abnormal loss and other things, right. So, thank you very much for today.